Let's just start right there, with a pretty stark warning, actually. Because in the age of AI, standing still, that's not an option anymore. This isn't some far-off future thing. We're talking about your career, right now. The choice really is that simple. You either adapt, or you risk a major, major misstep. Hello and welcome. Look, if you're a manager or a leader right now, this whole generative AI revolution can feel, well, a little overwhelming, right? But what if you had a definitive playbook, a guide to cut through the noise? Well, today we're diving into exactly that. We're breaking down the essential strategies from the Harvard Business Review's guide, all designed to help you turn that uncertainty into your biggest competitive advantage. So here's the problem that pretty much every leader is wrestling with. We all know generative AI is powerful. I mean, you can't escape the headlines. But there is a huge, huge gap between knowing it's important and actually doing something with it yourself. The book calls this the knowing-doing gap. And honestly, closing that gap is probably the single most important challenge for your leadership today. So how exactly are we going to close that gap? Well, here's our roadmap for today. We're going to start with a new mandate for managers, introduce the HBR playbook itself, and then break down a really fundamental shift, seeing AI not as a tool, but as a collaborator. From there, we'll get into the two critical modes for working with AI, co-pilot and co-thinker, see how to put them to work, and then wrap up with your personal transformation journey. Okay, so in a revolution, how do you navigate the chaos? You need a playbook. You need a clear, trusted guide to help you seize the opportunity. And that's exactly what we're about to unpack. Now, all the insights we're covering today come straight from this book, the HBR Guide to Generative AI for Managers. It's written by Elisa Fari and Gabriella Rossani from Capgemini's Management Lab. And what's so great about this is that it's not just theory. This is a practical, actionable guide from one of the most trusted names in business, and it's built specifically for leaders like you, the ones on the front lines. All right, the first and probably most critical idea from the HBR Guide is that this requires a fundamental mental shift. To really tap into the power of AI, you have got to stop thinking of it as just another piece of software. Our relationship with our machines is changing in a really profound way. You know, just think about it. For centuries, machines were simply tools. We commanded them. A hammer does what you tell it. Then we got things like digital assistants, Siri and Alexa. We could ask them for things. But now, with generative AI, they've become our collaborators. We can have a dialogue, we can strategize, we can actually create with them. This is not just a small upgrade, it's a totally new way of working. So what does this collaboration actually look like? Well, the book gives us this brilliant framework to master it. And it all comes down to understanding two very distinct modes of interacting with AI, co-pilot and co-thinker. Think of them as the two different hats your new AI partner can wear. So first up, you've got the co-pilot. This is AI as your ultimate productivity machine. Its whole purpose is speed, efficiency, and just getting things done. You can think of it as that hyper-competent assistant who just takes tasks off your plate, freeing you up to focus on the stuff that really matters. And you can put the co-pilot to work, like today. It can draft that really difficult email you've been putting off. It can take a 50-page report and spit out 5 key takeaways in seconds. It can analyze sales data, generate complex spreadsheet formulas you'd spend an hour Googling. This is all about removing the friction from your day-to-day work. But the real transformation, the real game changer, that comes with the second mode, the co-thinker. This is where AI stops being an assistant and becomes your strategic sparring partner. And the goal here isn't just to be more efficient, it's to have more depth, more innovation, and to make way better decisions. As a co-thinker, AI can help you brainstorm completely new ideas. Just imagine this. You present it with a business challenge and ask it to play devil's advocate, to challenge your core assumptions. You can even ask it to role-play as your most skeptical board member. It can help you map out the second and third order consequences of a big decision. It is literally like having a world-class strategic consultant on call 24/7. So here's the bottom line, the thing you have to remember. Co-pilot is about giving instructions to an assistant to get efficiency. Co-thinker is about engaging in a dialogue with a sparring partner to drive innovation. And mastering both of these modes, that's what's going to separate the average managers from the true AI-enabled leaders of the future. Okay, so that's the framework. But theory is pretty useless without practice, right? So let's get into the most important part. How do you actually apply these co-pilot and co-thinker modes to the real-world challenges you face every single day? The very first place to start is with the person you have the most control over, you. Forget the team for a second. How can AI become your own personal performance coach? I mean, think about your own work. Struggling to write a persuasive memo? Just feed your draft to an AI and ask it, how can I make this argument stronger? Want to finally learn financial modeling? Ask it to be your personal tutor and build you a learning plan. You can even take anonymous 360 feedback you've received, feed it in, and ask, what are my blind spots? That's an incredibly powerful tool for your own growth. Now, once you start transforming your own work, the natural next step is to elevate your entire team. So, how do you use AI to become an even better leader? This is where your leadership really gets amplified. You can use AI as a co-thinker in your next brainstorming session to push the team beyond the same old ideas. You can use it to role-play a difficult conversation to help resolve conflict. It can even help you analyze your team's mission and craft a purpose statement that actually inspires people. You're not replacing your own judgment here, you are supercharging your leadership capabilities. Okay, so you can see the potential. It's massive. But how do you actually make it happen? Well, the HBR guide provides a really clear 4-step journey to move from just being curious to driving real organizational transformation. And this is your call to action as a leader. Step 1, just start experimenting. Right now, use it as a co-pilot, use it as a co-thinker, but on low-stakes tasks. Step 2, you have to build new skills like prompting and critical thinking. Step 3, once you're comfortable, you can start to redesign actual team workflows to integrate AI. And finally, step 4, establish collective responsibility. This isn't just your thing. You make AI proficiency a shared standard for the whole team. Look, this isn't a tech shift that you can just delegate to IT. It's a leadership test. The tools are here, the playbook has been written, the only question left is what are you going to do about it? Are you going to sit back and watch this revolution happen, or are you going to be the one to lead it? Hey, if this breakdown gave you a clearer playbook for leading in this new era, help us get this into the hands of more leaders by liking this and subscribing to the channel. It really does help. Thanks for watching.